Hi everybody and welcome to Mrs. Rogers' Test Kitchen. We are doing something so special today, so yummy. We're making a Krispy Kreme donut, cheese and bacon burger where you take the bacon and the cheese and the burger and the donut and you put it all together and then you put it in your mouth and it goes all glorious. So here's what you do to make your own Krispy Kreme donut, cheese and bacon burger. To make these burgers, we're not making patties, we're making smash burgers. What you need is about 500 grams worth of 20% fat content meat. Now this is really, really important. If you have meat which is less than 20% fat content, then your burgers are going to be not very nice. So what you do is you take your meat and you make a little ball. It's about 100 to 120 grams. Doesn't look that much, but when you smash it down, it just goes absolutely incredible, and you'll see that in a little bit. So take your ball, and then what you want to do is season the salt and the pepper on top of one side of the ball. We're not doing all sides, we're not doing all around, we're actually only going to season these once. So mold your mince into a really tight ball. Actually not too tight, just a little bit tight. Not too tight, not too loose, just so it holds its shape. Chuck the salt on top, chuck the pepper on top. Use a little bit more salt than you think you really would need, and then we want to put those balls aside. With the donuts, you want to take a donut out really, really carefully. We're going to be, actually they're quite delicate, so be careful not to squish them or squash them. And then using a bread knife, you cut down in between the donuts so you're getting two halves. So you've got one half on one side and one half on the other side, and that's going to be our bun, our donut bun. Yes, I said donut bun for our donut, bacon, cheese, burger. So nice. So with the actual donut, what you want to do is once you've chopped it in half, you just want to put the inside part of the burger down on the pan. Now that's just going to crispify that up nicely. Just do one side, you don't need to do both sides, because when we take it out and actually put the burger on, we're going to reverse the donut so the burger part is on the inside along with the melty, gooey stuff that's on the donut. Okay, let's just keep going. So once you've heated up the donut, just pop that to one side and it'll sit there for a couple of minutes. It doesn't necessarily have to be hot because the burger that's going to be going inside is going to be delicious and hot anyway. So next step is your bacon, crispy bacon. I like my bacon extra crispy and I like it crunchy and greasy. It really helps with the whole experience of eating this glorious burger, because if you're going to make a burger made of donut, you may as well have bacon in it as well, I reckon. Bacon, cheese, burger, yeah, fantastic. So make your bacon and then set that aside just to drain a little bit, so it's going to get that extra little crispiness as well, rather than taking it straight off the pan and straight onto your burger. Now I just want to quickly talk about the cheese that you want. The cheese needs to be American style cheese. In New Zealand they talk about that being a burger style cheese. You can find it in most supermarkets, not sure of the brand, you'll have to look it up, but it's basically like the plastic cheese you have at Macca's, but bought from a supermarket. That is the best cheese to buy. You can't use cheddar. I can't stress that enough. If you use cheddar, it will just be wrong and it won't be a burger that we love, the smash style burger. Have to use American style cheese, really, really important. So the next step is actually making the smash burger. With your pan, you want it extra hot. You want your pan to be absolutely sizzling. Best to use either a cast iron skillet. You can do this on the barbecue if your barbecue's nice and clean. Either a cast iron skillet. We're going to be using a stainless steel electric fry pan just because it's easier and we're inside and I can't be bothered turning on the barbecue at the end of the day. So what you do is you take your ball of meat, you pop it down on the grill, and then using your spatula, you push down from the very top as hard as you possibly can using a wooden spoon or something else. The really important point about this is that you need to get it down as thin as you possibly can, as quickly as you possibly can. And what that helps is that the fat goes all Maillard. There's a word, Google it, the Maillard effect or something like that. I'm not a food scientist, so whatever. But it basically makes the fat all crispy and the meat's all crispy and beautiful and melty. You'll actually see after about a minute and a half, or sometimes even quicker than that, the meat starts to lift on the edge and you start to get a bit of browning. So the lifting of the meat is what we want to see. When you're happy with the way it's looking, get your spatula. Now, I use a burger spatula that I purchased off the internet. really, really good for this particular thing because it's really high grade steel and you can really get in there. I actually sharpen my spatula as well because what you want to do as you're slipping underneath the burger, you want to get all of that crispy, meaty, crispy goodness under there. So you want to get all of that crispiness just, oh, look at that. It's me being very, very happy right now. So flip over the burger. You don't need to do any more seasoning. We're not going to do anything else to it. We just need to flip it over, let that sit for about another 30 seconds, and you'll see the same sort of thing's going to happen to the meat underneath. The last step is basically to take your cheese and put it on the top. Just a single slice of cheese. Now you could do a double burger if you wanted to. To be honest, one burger's probably enough because you're adding a donut and bacon and cheese. So, you know, to each your own, but I prefer just a single burger. It's not too meaty then, it's just sweet and meaty and bacony. Okay, so you flip it over. Now you put your single slice of cheese on the top. Now, if you're listening really closely, here is a secret tip to make sure your cheese is melty and it just goes through the meat and becomes one with the meat. The cheese becomes one with the meat. Put the cheese on top and then put a little bit of water into the pan and then put a lid on top of the pan. And then that causes steam and then the cheese just melts through. But you only need to go for about 20 seconds. Lift it off, you'll see the cheese. All right, so when you're plating it up, all you want to do is pop one half of the donut underneath, flip it around so the donut is actually on the inside, or the outside of the donut is on the inside of the burger, if that makes any sense. So you put the burger on, and then you put, which has got the cheese on it, and then you put the bacon, and then you put the top of the donut on, and then you look at it, and then you take a photo on Instagram, and then you take a photo on Facebook, and then you go live on Instagram to show everyone that you're eating it, and then you go live on Facebook to show everyone that you're eating it, and then everyone laughs at you and says, well, that sounds really disgusting, and then you have them round for a barbecue and you make these, and then everyone eats them and says, oh, that's really, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever eaten. And so tell your friends about this amazingness. Share it on the Instas, share it on the Faces, hashtag us, do whatever you need to do to get that in your face because it's very, very, very good. That's how you make a Krispy Kreme donut, cheese and bacon burger, smash style. Enjoy, and I'm going to enjoy finishing this off. It's very, very good.